beautiful woman. How are you?
I'm doing really well, Lucy. How are you?
I'm great. You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
Really happy, really glowy, really in your feminine. You just look peaceful. And I know that you're actually moving house right now. So
Mhm.
that's actually really saying something.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Because moving house is a big deal. So the fact you're coming on to do this with all of this going on in the background and looking as serene as you do, like, go sister.
Yeah. I feel really um, happy and joyous. And I was just talking to my sister-in-law yesterday, and she's an amazing person, always supporting me from New York. She lives in New Jersey, actually.
Mm.
And I was telling her that I am really exhausted, but I don't know where I'm getting all this energy from. There is this feeling of joy and this motivation to keep going, and the faith that everything is falling in place, and just keep doing, and it's being done for you.
Oh my God, this is so different to when you first came in. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Just you speaking like that makes me feel calm and peaceful. Like you have shifted stratospheres. So can't wait to dive in, for other women to be able to just get a glimpse into your journey, to see something for themselves. So let's begin. So Shital, how old are you? All that good stuff. Just introduce yourself, what you do.
Yeah. So I'm 7 year old. I am physical therapist by profession. I live in Chicago right now, but I was born and raised in India. And I came here about 13 years ago after I was married. I am not married anymore. It's my ex-husband now, but we have a son together, and my son lives with me full time. So I'm a single mother, and Chicago feels at like home right now. So this is where I plan to be.
Beautiful. And it just cut out when you said how old you were.
37.
37. Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful. So let's dive in to where you were, Shital,
Hmm.
when you came for that first call. If you want to just close your eyes and drop into your heart space, because I know you're really happy now. And I feel like the wicked witch coming in to say, hey, go back to where you were. But
No.
let's just go back there, take a moment to breathe into that version of you. What wasn't working? Why did you book this call? Why did things need to change for you?
Oh my God. What comes to my mind is that afternoon with Marty when I was talking to her. I had just recently been ghosted by a person. And that was the first time I had actually gone online
Mm.
for, real dating, and after the divorce. Um, and that's been 2 years. My divorce was 2 years ago. Um, it hit me really strongly. I never understand. I don't understand the concept of ghosting. I feel if you don't get along with someone, just say, sorry, this is not working, goodbye. So that hit me very strongly. I wouldn't do that to someone.
Yeah.
And so I was in a very vulnerable state.
Mm.
And at the same time, I was questioning a lot of um, things that people these days, like how they treat other people. Um, your call, the masterclass call, came at a time where I was questioning these things. So I feel like, wow. And everything that you said in the master class resonated with me so much. Um, and after that, I had this call with Marty. And when she asked me to put the hand on my heart, that was the first time I actually uh, started thinking from my heart as
Mm.
opposed to my head space.
Mm.
Um, that was a very touching experience for me. And I realized that although I think that I am ready, I don't think I was ready in many ways. I was putting up so many guards for myself.
Mm.
And some of the questions she asked me, it did go back to my childhood, the way I was raised.
Yeah.
And and having a bad marriage after that. So there was so much going on inside me, which was never attended to.
Totally.
So, and it was showing up in my life right now.
Well, you know what that made me think of, Shital, was, a rolling, turbulent ocean. And if we were to skim a stone into that, you wouldn't see the stone. It's just rolling, 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 drama, chaos, turbulent. And yet that beautiful Shital that's just that calm, flowing wave wasn't able to be seen. And so, of course, you're absolutely right. You're almost out there at sea trying to catch the wave on your surfboard, and there's just no way. So that's the vision that I got. And nothing wrong with your surfboard, right? Nothing wrong with you. But just until we deal with all the junk, all the baggage, all the turds that people drop on us, right? We collect along the way as in the human experience, we then start to take them on, and it just chips away at our confidence more and more and more. The fact that you're a beautiful Indian woman, but divorced, that carries a lot of stigma, right?
Oh my goodness.
So of course you're out there at sea, you're this beautiful mermaid who wouldn't want to date you. We get that's the truth. But when you're up against that turbulence, like the real Shital can no way shine through that.
Absolutely. You put it just right. I felt like I was constantly battling. I was constantly fighting. And, in one of the Q&A sessions, you said, it's okay to fight, but you want to know what you're fighting for. One of the session, that was a point that kind of really resonated with me. And it made me realize that, yes, I have been constantly fighting for the last maybe 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what I was fighting for.
That's profound. I have a lot of women that have this realization that they're not present to it because they're just used to fighting. They're used to being on the defense and having to really, and all that energy that's going out. And that's also a lot of busyness that's caught up in that energy. There's no presence. There's no like divinity that you're aligned with. It's there, but you're aligned in the drama story and having to protect yourself, hence all the bodyguards versus
exactly
you just going, hang on a second. Yes, all this is going on, but how do I choose to respond to it? And also,
yes,
that shit is not who I am.
Yes.
That's what you started to do when you came to do the work. I mean, I want you to also share with women, how it felt for you on that call to actually say yes, to choose you. What came up for you?
Wow. Scarcity. Lot of hesitance and major guilt.
Yes.
To even say yes to investing in myself.
Yes.
This is one important thing that I have learned from soul to soul is I am important, and it's okay to say yes, to give myself the time and give myself everything that I would want to give to my son. Why not? A simple thing that when he's in the bedroom, I would turn the air conditioner on, but I wouldn't do it for myself.
Yes.
It's all these little things. I would go out for a walk, and if I would see an ice cream truck, if he's along with me, I would give him an ice cream. I would take it along with him. But if I'm by myself, I wouldn't allow myself to do that. All these
conditional love. And also, I mean, when you said it's okay, just for those of you listening, it's not okay to invest in yourself. It's fucking vital.
Yes.
Like what Shital has done is she's saved her life by actually choosing to be all of who she is. And now her son is going to have a different outcome. He's going to have a different adulthood. He's going to be a different man in the world. Like, this is so deep. I'm getting full body goosebumps right now because Shital could have, just like fully vibrating over here. You could have easily said no on that call because you were already in scarcity. You didn't really allow yourself to go, well, it's not, like part of you was like, well, it's not that bad. I could figure it out. There was part of you doing that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And then who the hell am I to invest X in myself? So there was so much that could have easily derailed you. And that's what I want to celebrate for you right now is you had culture, you were a mother, you were a divorcee. you know, there's all these things that would have been justified for you to say, yeah, no, I'm going to leave it. I'll wait till one day when.
Yes.
But you didn't.
No, I'm getting so emotional right now because, you know, it was also a major self-worth issue for me.
Totally.
I never considered myself worthy of anything. You know, the best way I can describe it is, um, I always was like this worker bee where I would work, 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 work.
Yes.
And I thought it was my duty to give, and I would give without expecting anything in return, but never understanding that the first person I should be giving is me.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And when I learned that, Lucy, I can't describe. My son notices the change in me. Oh my God.
What?
We smile and we laugh so much now. I can't describe that.
Wow.
That's the biggest blessing that I have received after starting the journey in Soul to Soul, where I have understood what joy is truly.
Oh my God. Hello.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm getting so emotional over here because people are afraid to be happy. There's a beautiful girl in Soul to Soul right now. I was just like literally having this conversation. And suddenly her dad asks her, how are you? And she's like, I'm good. And she hasn't been good. And it stopped her in her tracks. And she was like, hang on a minute, this is foreign. And her whole body was freaking out and reacting because she's used to being in the victim story. She's used to not being good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, no, we need to be in our joy, right? To raise the collective consciousness, we all need to do our bit to tune into joy and to freaking soak that up on tap. So when you say that, that is everything. The fact that you're experiencing joy with your son is everything. That's wealth. I'm like full body goosebumping on this call with you. It's so much bigger than the soulmate.
Oh my goodness, Lucy. Yes, I don't even, honestly, my energy right now is focused so much on making myself better, making my son better, making our life better.
Yes.
And I know the soulmate will come when the time is right. I have confidence in that. I'm not even going to doubt it for a second. And that confidence, I didn't have it before. Okay. Never.
This is divine because I want you girls to hear this, okay? This is literally why Soul to Soul is changing lives. This is not a dating program. This is not about how to do your profile or how to get a guy, right? This is about you coming home to yourself and learning how to be your own soulmate, learning how to treasure yourself, how to support yourself, how to love and accept yourself on every level. When you hear Shital talking, the fact that she's finding all this joy with her son, right before Soul to Soul, she had her son, but she wasn't sitting there in joy. She was sitting there in that chaotic energy and being sad and not thriving, right? So, you know, you're literally by changing your life, you're changing his life. And it is inevitable that your soulmate is coming in when you're putting this much love and support into you and your son. Like attracts like. So you can't not attract in this amazing man, not a guy, an amazing man, soul partner who wants in with what you've created. He wants it because he's drawn to like this woman who's in her greatness, who's loving herself. Like that is magnetic. Just as much as if you saw a man with his son who was just loving his life, enjoying the ice cream together, you would be drawn to that guy.
Yes.
You'd go, I don't care if you've got a son. I don't care if you have 3 sons. I want what you're having over there.
Yes.
The joy train, the lit train.
Yes.
This conversation is also about presence. You're embodying your presence, Shital. And that's what's making you happy. You're accepting and loving her. And you've ejected out of the story of the less than version of you. That was a failure. Completely. That couldn't get it right. That couldn't get a marriage to work. That blah, blah, fucking blah.
Yes.
And it's really powerful to watch you sit here saying, I'm loving, you know, I'm loving me and I'm loving my son and we're moving house. I'm exhausted, but I'm happy. Mm-hmm. And I know my soulmate's coming in. I mean, it's just flowing from you.
Yes. And, you know, another important thing is I I had this independent paradigm going on, like constantly trying to do all these things by myself, Lucy.
Yes.
And the other thing that I'm noticing about me is, yes, I'm taking up space and I'm speaking my truth without any fear now, but I'm also so comfortable asking for help. I'm
Oh,
comfortable asking for support, which I never did before. I thought, oh, I don't wanna disturb anyone. This is my responsibility. But now I understand that, you know, it is, it is vital to receive support. And I have so many people around me who love me. So why not accept that? And when,
yes.
yes, and when I have my move scheduled next week, I asked two of my friends, I need you to be there. I have the movers, but I just want you to be there with me. And they
Nice.
were like, just tell us what time we have to be there
Love
and we'll
it.
be there.
This is one of my favorite breakthroughs that I see women experience, this exact conversation. First of all, the fact that you know, are prioritizing yourself, choosing you, but then to ask for support, that is a huge, huge celebration, because you're actually being stingy by not letting people support you. The fact that your friends are like, of course, tell us when,
Yes.
because people love that clear communication, and they love to also be needed, and that they can hold that space for you. You're actually ripping them off by not including them, because they love you and they want to support you. And when we're constantly like, no, I've got this,
Yeah.
it actually puts a wall up.
Yeah.
But when we actually lean on each other, because it takes a village to do anything,
It
right?
does. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, then people are like, oh, she's letting me in. It's vulnerable. It's heart-led. It's beautiful, because we are stronger together. We're not stronger on our own. We're stronger together. So
Yes.
that's just so profound, that you're just reaching out and letting people support you, and that's why you're going to be able to attract in your soulmate, because you've got to be in this place where you're able to receive.
Yes.
Otherwise, if the guy says I love you, you'll freak out and run out the back door and slam it and go, oh, what do you mean? But
Yes.
when he says it to you, you'll go, yeah,
Yes.
damn straight you love me, because I love me.
Yes, absolutely. And one another important thing that I have to share is the need for validation.
Mm.
I had this huge need for validation, and a lot of us, we do have it.
Totally.
But once I understood what self-love actually is, what I am worthy of, and I know what I want and what I desire, I am noticing that I am very much okay with people not agreeing to what my dreams and desires are.
Yes.
And that includes all the people in my near circle too. Like for now, my dad and my brother are huge male support in my family. And I can see that in certain ways, they don't approve of my choices. You know, if I choose to, you know, do something with my son as opposed to not, and I'm very much okay with that. And at the same time, talk to them about it, that I understand you don't like it, and I'm okay with that. There is no disrespect in it. It's just, it's okay. It's like we agree to disagree and we still respect each other, and that's a huge thing for me.
It's huge.
um, yeah, I used to hide things from them because I thought, oh, they won't like it. But no, I am like, you know what? You love and accept me fully only when you know what I'm doing is coming out of a place of, you know, power and respect for myself. So here it is. I am doing this and I'm okay if you don't like it,
Well,
you
that's
know?
you being totally unapologetic. This is me.
Yes.
It's you taking up space. It's you
Mm-hmm.
being comfortable in the discomfort and not running from it. So
Yes.
that is really, really huge, very powerful. And you see,
Mm-hmm.
when we do stand in our power, we're not being aggressive, we're just standing firmly in our power. People,
Yes.
people are going to antagonize you because you're firm in it. If you were not firm in it, they would keep antagonizing you or poking you with energy. But when you're just like, this is me, they can't penetrate that.
No.
And that's
And
just
honestly,
key.
yeah. And I see that they respect that, you
Yeah,
know,
they do.
and one important thing is once you start respecting yourself,
Mhm.
you will see people around you are looking at you with such a different light, you
100%.
know. And this is huge for me even at work.
Yeah.
I did make some lives in the program where I had this huge um, what's self-worth again, problems at work. If I had to confront men with authority at work, I would be a nervous wreck. I would always feel I am not worth it. I am not enough. And that's changing too. Um, One example just happened yesterday when my boss, while I was treating my patient, he made a comment which really bothered me. And my little girl was beginning to get scared and get all upset. And oh my goodness, within 5 minutes, I knew how to handle the situation. I wrote him an email and I stood up for myself, and I could see the way he looked at me was completely different. The way he talked to me and approached me was completely different. And I realized, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to take your sword out every time to stand up for yourself. It has to be very subtle, and you can still, I was proud of myself how I handled that yesterday. And I wouldn't be able to do this unless I was a part of this program.
Well, because what you've done is you've strengthened your core, your self-worth, your foundation. So now that you feel safe in your skin and you love and respect and adore you, and you're now your own advocate in the world, saying, no, I know who I am. I know my worth, and I'm not going to let anyone shit in my vortex.
Yes.
I don't care if you're family. I don't care who you are, because I know my value now. And that is the deep work. That is why the program goes so deep, for you to recalibrate this new identity that's going to serve you. Because how we show up in one area is how we show up in all areas. So of course now at work, that's a very common bit of feedback. Had another beautiful woman just yesterday saying she went and presented to, her whole team at work. And she said she was sitting in her feminine, and she used to be very much in a masculine. And she said it was a completely different meeting. And she was so proud of herself, just like you're sharing now, because she was in her greatness, but there was no trying or proving or any of that bullshit. She was just like owning who she is from her vagina, not from a cock. So being in your feminine can be fierce and soft. It's not, but it's when we're in our masculine, when we're rigid and we've got to try and get it right and be accepted in a man's world instead of being a woman in the world.
Absolutely.
So we could talk for hours and hours, because this is just golden. What would you say to these gorgeous women that are loving your story, that are like, ooh, I need this? Like, what would you say to them? There could be fear coming up for them as well. Why would you tell them that they need to do this?
Why wouldn't you? I feel like before I was in this program, I let fear rule. And now I observe fear, but the fear doesn't rule my life. I choose and I co-create. When you have that opportunity to actually work on yourself and come to a level where, in spite of what goes on in your life, you can be that powerful, that you can make choices and yet face everything without being shaken. Why wouldn't you choose that? I was a big fan of self-help books, and I would watch numerous videos, and had this routine set up in the morning and do meditations for years. But honestly, no, it didn't work, because I didn't have accountability, because I didn't have a community to support me. In Soul to Soul, the sisters who come in the group, they have been through a similar story, and they understand you, and there is no judgment. There is such non-judgmental support and understanding of the sisters, and that's what you need. That's what you need to put your story out and learn more about yourself. Does that make sense?
100%. We obviously it's a very deep process that you're taken through, which gets to the core of the things that have been literally holding you back. But
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, Shital, without the community and without the level and the caliber of people, right? It's not about your bank account or anything. Everyone is welcome in this program, but you've got to bring it, and you will not get it right. You will not get it
Yes,
in
100%.
unless we feel that you are an energetic fit. And that's why
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
powerful. It's not just a numbers game, let's get everyone in. And that's palpable when you're in there, because one
Yes.
rotten egg brings down the entire collective.
Oh, yes. And you know, the best part about this group that I saw was like, not only were accountable to each other, but the sisters call each other out. Like, as soon as we see one going into a victim energy,
Yeah.
or, you know, going into scarcity mindset, we like, okay, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry. You
Yes.
cannot bring that energy here. I was one of them, you know,
Yeah.
once I had that, and that started the whole process of buying the home for me. And you were like, okay, sorry, this is what you're doing. And
Yeah.
this is not, this is not what we choose here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the process works for sure. I had my doubts, but again,
Of course.
the question was everything that I was doing up until now for the last 5 years, was that working?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't working. Do I have so much more time in my life to continue doing the same? No,
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
so much time.
Yeah. I just saw a hummingbird when you said that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, you're such a joy to chat with. You are emanating so much wisdom and truth and, you know, gold nuggets that women I know right now will just be like, thank you for sharing the story, because it's just flowing from you. You know, there's no proving from you. There's no like rah rah do soul to soul, which I love. It's not, it's just real. You're just like, look, here's why. And it's just so effortless having this conversation with you.
Thank
You're
you, Lucy.
present. I know that, as I said, I know there's things going on, but you're just present and generous. And by you now igniting your own light, you are having an impact on people that you don't even know right now, just by you being all of you. And without a doubt, your son, honestly, like that alone is everything. So
Yes.
thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us. And I can't wait to hear the updates of this amazing man that's going to join your family. The best is yet to come. And
Yes.
yeah, just well done you for choosing yourself, because it would have been much easier not to.
Thank you, Lucy. It's my pleasure to share. And I would also like to add one more thing, that the tools that we learn in this program, in Soul to Soul, it doesn't end after 8 weeks. It's a lifelong process. And honestly, I have had more breakthroughs after graduating from the program. And it's an amazing thing that we can still continue to share in the sisterhood.
Yes.
And continue to support each other.
Yes.
It's an ongoing process. And if you really are, you know, like dedicated, if you really want to love yourself, you have to do this. It's like a no-brainer, you know?
It is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you need to be around like-minded women when you go through this journey.
Yes.
And you up level, you have to have community of people that get it, that you can communicate
Yes.
with, that also wanting to live their best life. Otherwise, you know, we're the sum of the 5 people we hang around. So if you just go back and want to complain and
Absolutely.
vortex, you can't tolerate it. You've got to be
Yes.
constantly advocating for yourself to go, you know, are these people making me feel good? Are they on the same page? Are they expansive? And that's exactly right. You know, these are the tools you have for the rest of your life.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And they work. No doubt.
They totally do. It's been so wonderful to be part of your process. And yeah, just really grateful that you came on to share yourself so beautifully. So I'm going to let you get back to your moving. Go and give
Thank
that
you, Lucy.
son a big kiss from me. And I know I'll be seeing you soon.
Yes, Lucy. Take care. Thank you. And it's my pleasure.
Big, big love. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we're back because we're having a little chat afterwards. And she's like, oh my goodness, there was one last thing I wanted to share. So share away.
Okay. While being in this program, one important thing that happened was I had this conversation with my son about inviting a man in our life. And my son asked me, what if I fall in love again? And I remember very clearly, I was driving and I told him, when I fall in love again, I would love to invite that man in mine and yours life. And he actually paused and was thinking, and I wanted to know how he's feeling. So I asked him, how do you feel about it, Somit? He said, I would very much like a dad in my life too. And if he plays video games with me, I think I'm fine.
Oh, precious man.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was huge for me to have this conversation. And, before Soul to Soul, I was hesitant to talk about such delicate matters with Somit.
yes.
But I was so much comfortable after Soul to Soul in understanding where I come from, in where I am, that he brought up that question out of nowhere, and I was so okay to talk to him about it. And now I see that we are both very comfortable, like when we watch some movies, I can see that when there is a strong male character, he is so drawn to the male
Of
character,
course,
and he wants that in his life. He
of
still
course he
has
does.
he still has his dad in his life, but with the way his dad's personality is and everything, he understands
He's smart.
what he wants. Yes.
Kids are so smart, and what I'm hearing is because you're in such certainty of being in your skin, whereas before you'd be like, well,
Mm-hmm,
you wouldn't want to entertain it because there was so much fear around it and anger
mm-hmm,
and undealt with stuff. Whereas
mm-hmm,
because you've got this clearing now and you feel really solid about it,
mm-hmm,
that's why you were able to have such a powerful organic conversation, because you weren't in fear and scarcity anymore around
mm-hmm.
it. And then
No.
you were able to really listen to him,
Mm-hmm,
like truly.
mm-hmm.
So look, that's just everything, truly, that
Yes.
he and you are having these high level conversations, and he feels safe to
Mm-hmm.
express himself, because he could tell as well that you were
Yes.
genuinely wanting to hear his answer. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. And that was it was a major celebration, and it didn't end there. I have to share this that the same day I had a conversation with my dad. And mind you, my dad is a very conservative Indian man, very dominant. And I shared this with him. He was so receptive of this. And at the same time, he's like, you know what? I want you to be happy, and I want you to have a man in your life. You just tell me if you want me to help you or you are going to do it by yourself. And I had never had this conversation with my dad in 37 years of my life. And
Wow.
it was again another celebration where I could talk to him openly and tell him that, dad, I got this. Give me an opportunity to do this for myself. And he gave me his blessings, and he was like, yes, I just want you to be happy. So that was epic too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm so glad you came on to share that,
Mm-hmm.
because, it's so much bigger than you. And of course, for those of you that don't have a son yet, this is for the children that you bring into the world, that you get yourself sorted out. If you don't want to have children, fine. This is about how you show up in your business, how you show up with your family, how you show up with your friends. It's so much bigger than you. It's
Yes.
really, we are all just energy. So it's, how do I want to calibrate and be as an energy? Do I want to be blossoming energy or a contracting, small, shrinking energy?
Yes.
On that note, I
Yes.
my husband whistling, I've got to go and get my daughter, but thank you for
Yes.
coming on with that last little gem. And yeah, I
Sure.
love you, and I can't wait to hear the updates.
Yes, Lucy. Love you too. And talk to you soon.
Bye.